single step is all it takes to become great. And as we leave 2023 behind, let's ask ourselves, what can I do today to be the best version of myself tomorrow? As the last chapter of 2023 comes to a close, we stand on the edge of a new day, calling us to take a moment to think about what lies ahead. You know, life is kind of like an uncharted journey. Every day, we have a chance to change our fate. The ancient Stoics, who were very wise, knew this very well. They were more than just philosophers lost in thought. They were realistic and had a strong sense of how life works. Picture a calm evening at the start of the year 2024. You're thinking about the future and the past year. It's not just making long-term plans that you might forget. It has to do with making habits that will change your life. Here are 10 habits that the Stoics encouraged for the transition from 2023 to 2024. These aren't just thoughts to think about. These are things to do. Also, don't worry, we won't get into any complicated language. For today, this is Stoicism, simple, useful, and directly applicable to your everyday life. 1. Start out small. The saying was important to George Washington, whose determination helped build a nation. It is a humble Scottish proverb that many mickles make a muckle humble. Still, it captures a deep truth. The ground is made up of small. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, was also right when he said that happiness comes in small steps. But it's not a small thing. He understood that changes don't happen all at once, but in small, steady steps. Think about how you plant seeds. Every little seed has the potential to grow into something beautiful. What does this mean for us? Say you want to read more. Don't make a huge goal. Instead, commit to one page every day, as if you were making a mosaic. Every little piece fits into the bigger picture. Don't forget that a walk starts with one step and a habit with one action. James Clear's atomic habits beautifully echo this feeling. The most important thing about atomic habits is not just that they can explode, but also that they are fundamental. The atom is the smallest unit known, but it has a lot of power. In the same way, our smallest habits are what make big changes possible. Also, here's a secret for you. It's not enough to just do little things. You have to think a little too. Don't fall for big promises that you can't keep. Instead, pay attention to what's in front of you, what you can do right now. As you keep adding these small wins, you'll see that they add up to big changes. Don't forget that every river starts out as a small stream. Let's remember how powerful it is to start small as we move into 2024. No matter how small, as Zeno would say, an act of kindness is always worth it. 2. Stop letting your anxiety take over your life. We're all in for a storm, one that makes coffee. Not in the sky, but inside of us. Having anxiety. It looks like a shadow is following us. There was talk among friends about what might happen and what might go wrong, but the hard truth is that you're not a puppet. Also, anxiety shouldn't be the puppeteer. Marcus Aurelius, who was in charge of an empire, knew this. I got away from stress in his Meditations, he wrote today. Or, I didn't throw it away because it was inside me. That is a very strong realization. There is no rough weather at the airport or on the plane. We have it. How do we get off of this chain that we can't see? First, take responsibility for how you feel. Know that your thoughts, not the world around you, cause your anxiety. It's like fog that makes it hard to see, making big problems look like small ones. Get rid of that fog and see things as they really are, not how your fears make you see them. This is where being mindful comes in handy. Wait a minute. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this worry due to what is happening or to what I fear might happen? Most of the time, It will be the second one. Let's finally bust a myth. Anxiety is not a way to avoid problems that might happen. In fact, it's not true. It doesn't get you ready. You can't move. It feels like a rocking chair. A lot of things are moving, but you're not going anywhere. Let's make a promise to free ourselves from the chains of anxiety as we move into the new year. Let's go through life with a calm heart and a clear head. Aurelius tells us that you control your mind, not what happens in the outside world. If you understand this, you will be strong. Don't forget that the only storm you have to face is the one inside you. 3. Set up a routine. Think of your day as a blank page that you have no plans for. The empty space is just waiting to be filled in any way you want, but with a set plan. Still a work of art in progress. The power of a routine is not in being rigid, but in giving you a way to focus your energy in the best way. The Stoic philosopher Seneca, whose ideas have been studied for hundreds of years, once said that life without a plan is random. A well-planned day was a well-spent day, he knew. How then do you make this routine? It's not about making the same schedule as someone else. It's about making one that speaks to you. Find out what time of day you're most productive to begin. Are you like me and love the quiet of the morning? Or does your energy level rise as the day goes on? Plan your day around this natural rhythm. Your best hours should be used for the most important tasks that need your full attention and creativity. For me, it's about taking charge of the morning instead of letting it take over. As a way to start the day off on a good note, I do things. A walk and some time to think, getting a creative project done before everyone wakes up. But don't forget that a routine isn't just for work. It's all about balance. Develop habits that are good for your mind, body, and spirit. It could be reading, working out, or spending time with people you care about. And most importantly, do what you normally do. Always being the same is what holds everything together. You'll find that this routine helps good habits grow as you strengthen them. Seneca reminds us that principles are important after all. And what is a daily routine if not a set of rules you follow? Accept the structure and see how the uncertain chaos turns into a peaceful and productive symphony. 4. Tell yourself to stop. Over the years, there has been a story that keeps coming up. It's not about a battle or an invasion, but about a personal victory. Dwight Eisenhower had to deal with a very strong enemy. His choices changed the course of history. His habit of smoking 4 packs a day. What his doctor said was a wake-up call. Quit, or bad things will happen. What did Eisenhower say? He told himself to stop. He quit all of a sudden. After 40 years, it's proof of a deep, strong principle. If a person is not in charge of themselves, they are not free. Epictetus said that this story is about more than just giving up smoking. It's about getting rid of any bad habit that's holding you back. We all go through hard times, whether it's through bad habits, putting things off, or negative thoughts. Telling yourself to stop is the key to winning. It's about taking charge of your urges instead of letting them run your life. Another wise man named Seneca said, "We are all slaves to something." But the beauty of Stoicism is that it helps us see that we are the ones who can break our chains. How does this fit into your life? Pick out that one thing. It could be that extra coffee, social media scrolling for hours on end, as well as any habits that get in the way rather than help. Take note of how it has changed your life, then make it clear that you want to stop. It's not about making changes slowly, it's about a clear, intentional action. It's not just a habit that you break when you tell yourself to stop. You're getting your freedom back. And as you move into 2024, keep this message with you. Your fate is up to you, and the first thing you need to do is master yourself. 5. Free up valuable things. Time. The most valuable thing we have is wasted on small things all the time. We say we don't have enough time. In spite of this, our screen time shows the truth. It isn't about having more time, it's about making good use of the time we have. Stoicism teaches us to pay attention to what's important. The philosopher Epictetus, who was known for being very wise in real life, said, "If you want to get better, be ready to look clueless or stupid about some things." This is about choosing not to get caught up in the vortex of things that aren't important, whether it's doom scrolling, reading too much news, or other digital distractions. The strategy is twofold: become aware of the problem and do something about it. First, pay close attention to how your time is spent. Keep track of what you do for a day or a week. The amount of time you spend on things that don't add much to your life will probably surprise you. The first step toward change is becoming aware of this. Next, make a decision and act on it. Cut down on the time you spend on these things to start. Limit how much you use the app. Set specific times to read the news and avoid surfing the web without a purpose. Not cutting yourself off from the world is the point. The point is to choose not to drown in it. You'll have more time for things that really matter once you take back your time. Going after your goals, building relationships and growing as a person. This habit is more than just a way to keep track of time. It's about how to handle your life. It's about making sure that the valuable hours in your day are spent on things that make your life better, not worse. Let's remember Epictetus's words as we move into the year 2024 and spend our time and energy on things that really help us grow and be happy. Don't forget that every minute you waste on something pointless is a minute you lose on something important. 6. At the start of every new year, do something hard. Seneca, a very stoic person, did more than just make plans. He said something. He jumped into the Tiber River, which was very cold. It wasn't to go swimming. It was a statement that he was in charge of himself. It was clear that he meant, "I'm in charge." The act wasn't about how cold the water was. The fire was the subject. It sparked a fire of confidence and toughness. It's a strong reminder that doing something hard can be the most empowering thing you can do. How can we use this lesson about being calm in our daily lives? We need to get out of our comfort zone to start. Pick something that will test you, something that scares you a little. Anything could be it. I got up an hour early and took a cold shower. You could even learn a new skill or speak up in a meeting. Making yourself push your limits is more important than the task itself. When things are hard, that's when we grow the most. It's where we find out what we're really made of. The most important thing about this practice is not how hard it is, but how you have to fight your instincts. It shows how strong you are inside, something that shows you are more than your worries and fears. Remember Seneca's unspoken message as you start this journey of doing something hard. I am in charge of what I do, how I feel, and what I think. Let 2024 be the year you take on new challenges and show yourself that you can handle them. We don't just survive when things go wrong, after all, we do well. 7. Get together with people who make you better. More than we realize, the people we hang out with shape who we are. It feels like going for a walk in the woods. There are many ways to get to where you want to go. It's not a new idea. The Stoics knew how powerful groups could be. Through his letters, Seneca showed how important it is to be around people who make you grow and learn. Be around people who will make you a better man, he wrote at one point. You don't just have to pick friends, it's about picking the people and things that shape your life and character. How does this apply to the world we live in now? First, look at your circle very carefully. Who do you spend the most time with? Do they have the traits you look up to and want to have? There's no need to find perfect people. It's about finding people who push you, help you grow, and share your values. Putting yourself in a place where you can grow is like planting yourself in good soil. Remember that if you hang out with limp people, you'll start to limp too. This isn't just about staying away from bad people. It's also about actively looking for good ones. Make your own Stoic circle, which could be a book club, a discussion group, or just a group of friends who want to improve themselves. Do things that make your mind and soul better. Talk about your thoughts, argue about big ideas, and push each other. Seneca said that when we teach, we learn. Having people around you who push you to do better will help you do more than just meet the challenge. You'll get past it. Let 2024 be the year you grow your garden of influences, making sure that each person in it helps you along the way. 8. Don't be afraid of change. Getting used to change is like learning how to ride the waves. If you don't give in, you'll fall over. But change, and you will be taken forward. During his deep thoughts, Marcus Aurelius thought about how things change. He knew that the beat of life is a constant ebb and flow of change. When we are afraid of change, we miss out on all the wonderful chances and possibilities that come with it. You have to do more than just accept change. It's about being ready to accept it, to make this a part of your life. Change your point of view to begin. Don't see change as a threat. See it as something that will happen and is exciting. This year is a chance to learn, grow, and have new things happen. You should push yourself to leave your comfort zone. Perhaps you should try a new hobby, a change in your job, or even a different way of thinking. Those times when things are uncertain and new are often when we grow the most and are happiest. Also, learn to be flexible, like a tree that bends but doesn't break when the wind blows. When things change, learn to be able to adapt. Being adaptable doesn't mean you're passive. It's about actively looking for ways to do well in new situations as you go through life's changes. Do you remember what Marcus Aurelius said? Things are changing in the universe, and so are our lives. Let 2024 be the year you learn how to handle change with style and skill. I see each new challenge as a chance to learn more about myself and grow. 9. In a world full of options and things to do, say no to the things that aren't necessary. Being able to say no well turns into a superpower. Even Marcus Aurelius, who had to deal with all the problems that came with running an empire, knew how important it was to be smart. He was smart to point out that a lot of what we do isn't necessary by turning down things that aren't necessary. We do more than just make time. We improve our ability to pay attention to what's important. It's about getting rid of the extra stuff to make room for the important things. Make this a part of your life by first looking at the things you've promised to do. Do they fit with your goals and values? It is easy to get caught up in a lot of busy work that doesn't really help us reach our goals. Learn how to say no to these things that will distract you. Not being friendly or helpful is not what this means. It has to do with setting limits that let you focus your energy on things that really matter. Remember that whenever you say yes to a small thing, you're really saying no to something big. Turn this equation over. Do something with your yeses. Say yes with all your heart to things that make your life better, like personal growth, relationships, or your hobbies. This kind of yes is more than just a response. It means committing to doing your best at the things that really matter. As you start the new year, Only say yes to things that will help you become the person you want to be. Wisdom is like Marcus Aurelius. Always ask yourself, is this necessary? Let 2024 be the year you get better at the delicate and powerful skill of saying no to things that aren't necessary. This will help you find your way to a life full of focus, purpose, and deep satisfaction. 10. Get back to the beat. Accepting our flaws and mistakes is part of accepting our humanity. Marcus Aurelius, a leader who had to deal with the difficulties of life and empire, knew that people would fail. He once thought about how important it is to not only get back up when we fall, but also to see the beauty in the fact that we can. We need to understand that stumbling is a part of our journey and not a break from it. In real life, this means having a mindset of strength and forgiveness. Do not see it as a failure if you fail to stick to your diet, workout, or other resolutions. Think of it as an important part of the growth process instead. The important thing is how you handle these setbacks. Do you scold yourself, or do you admit you made a mistake and gently guide yourself back on track? Choose the second option. It's about making it a habit to be kind to yourself and keep going when you get back on track. You make the habit of being stronger. Feel proud that you can get back to your rhythm no matter how many times you lose it. Remember that you don't have to be perfect. It's about making progress and keeping going back to what's important. The important thing is not what happens to you, but how you handle it, as Epictetus said. Let's carry the essence of these Stoic practices with us into 2024, not just as ideas, but as things we do every day that shape our lives. Remember that understanding Stoicism isn't enough to become self-disciplined, resilient, and peaceful. You have to live it too. Every day is a blank canvas, and the things you do are the brushstrokes that paint the picture of your life. So begin right now. Choose a drill. It could be a quiet moment in the morning or a kind deed. Watch how it changes your life. Your comments and stories of how things have changed, you are what keep this journey going and help us all grow. We should keep going down this path of growth and share our stories so that they not only change our lives, but also inspire those around us. Thank you for supporting me and being a part of this journey. I appreciate you making every day a step toward a fuller, more meaningful life. Watch our next video to learn more about Stoicism and get more ideas for your journey. There's more growth for you to come.